won't you do it? Do you know what I would do if it's my mother? You don't even know what I would do if it is my mother.
Resentment starts to build in marriage when you start to have certain expectations that we did not discuss before we got married.
I left him. Oh, yeah, it's your kid. Oh, yeah, it's your kid.
Yes, we become a family. But because you have become a family, doesn't mean that all your family burdens will now come on top of me. No. Welcome back to the Truthandtalespodcast with your favorite host, Victoria and
Yemi.
We are back again with another interesting episode. I would like to have your opinion about it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for always coming back. Thank you for always watching our content. Thank you for as many that leave your comments. It really helps a lot. Thank you for as many that likes our video. Thank you so much. And for as many that share our video, thank you so much. For as many that send us DMs to do with your questions, thank you so much. We really do appreciate you. Okay, remember we are available on all of your podcast platforms, right? On just search for Truth and Tales and you'll see us. Okay, or you can just check the link in the description box below and you'll see a link to our podcast platform. Remember to like, to share, to subscribe to this channel, and also remember that our personal channels are always linked below. Yemi's channel is Yemi Ayodeji and mine is Victoria Fash. Okay, so without talking too much, let us get right into the video. So Yemi, over to you. What are we discussing today? Because
Victoria.
Yemi has been taking it personal. She has not even finished. She has not read the story. I was just narrating it to her. The way she's carrying it personal.
Victoria, oh God, my people, today is going to be juicy. As always, you guys know that we always bring interesting conversations that every one of us can learn from, and that's why we always want to hear you guys' opinion on it as well. So anyway, today's truth, or is it a tale now?
It's a tale. Yeah,
it's a tale. Yeah, I think so. So today's tale, we have the tale of today. The tale, I'm going to just read as usual. So it says, my mother has stroke. This is someone writing now. My mother has stroke. My wife is a nurse. I was happy at least my wife will be taking care of her since she is a nurse. But she has refused to care for my mom. She said if she's caring for my mom, she has to be paid. That it's part of her job. Okay. At first, I thought it was a joke, till I left my mom in a critical state where she pulled on herself. I came back after 5 hours to meet her the same way I left her. I asked her why she didn't clean Mama up. She told me she hasn't been paid. I met with my elder siblings. I met with my elder siblings. Since Mama is living with me, they agreed to pay her to care for Mama. Janet, guess how much my wife charged for caring after her mother-in-law? 200K, and later sent a message to my twin sister that she would charge 150K last.
She's pricing it.
Is this not too much for someone she calls Mama? What will she even be doing? What will she even be doing to charge that much? Okay, is this not wickedness? All my sisters are working from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. She's the only one around as she works in a government hospital. Is this fair? Why charging money to do what she's supposed to do to a woman who birthed the man she is married to? All right. So here we have it. That's the tale for the day. That is the tale for the day. And I know you guys are already smiling, and some of you on your seats, you're already like jumping up and you're like, what am I hearing? Some people are like, now. Some people are like, what am I hearing? So yes, start dropping your comments right now before you even start to listen to us. Let us know. But Victoria, should I speak first on this matter? Or do you want
just continue. But I can tell you I need to talk sometimes.
Because honestly, and I'm going to speak from a point of view where I know what it means to have someone, a family member, especially somebody that you call, like I know what it is to have someone that is your mom be in such a critical situation where she needs like serious care, And I also know how much it means for you to like take care of someone who is in that state. Like how much how demanding it is for you to take care of someone in that state. So I feel like I'm going to like not be biased but also be balanced, And then, as I was reading it, honestly, when the lady said she wants to be paid, like she wants to be like flat out from the beginning, I was like, why would you want to be paid for like money? Like, how would you want to be paid? Because, like, you know, this is your husband's mom. This is your husband's mom, the person that you are one with. This is his mom. Like, let's assume that, okay, that's like your mother too. Like, that's like your second mother. If our own mother is still alive, that's like your second mom. So it's just a case of, okay, you are trained, you have the expertise. It's not as if you don't know how to do it and they're not saying go and learn or something. This is what you do on a regular, like that's your job. You know how to do it. You know what to do, right? And this is like somebody that is your mom. So yeah, as I was reading that, she's saying she wants to be paid. For me, I don't think I would want to be paid for that kind of a thing. Am I saying that I would do it? I'm not saying that yet. Oh. No. That's not what I'm saying yet. What I'm saying is that I would not, if I was the one in this situation, like I would not go and ask my husband to pay me to take care of his mom. Like I wouldn't do that, because that money that he's going to use to pay us, to pay me, it's coming from him now. It's not as if it's coming from outside. It's coming from him. It's coming from his labor. So it's just like we are recycling money in the family. He's bringing his own money and giving it to me, and I'm using it to do like recycling money, you know. And I also wanted to confirm, like, is she going to be spending her time that she's supposed to go and like go to work? Because he said that his own sisters go to work. He goes to work. So she's the one that is jobless now, that can be doing that, you know.
But she's a nurse who works in a government hospital,
and she's always free.
Talk about how nurses behave in government, because first of all, because you work in a government hospital should not even be a reason why you should be at home, right? Yeah. But that's a different story on its own. Just assume that in Nigeria, government workers do whatever they like. That's why
exactly. Like so he's trying to say that she's flexible. She's more flexible than them, you know. So like, she has that time, according to them. She has, like, he knows that she has that time, I think, that she can do that for the family. You know, it's like something that she should do for the family. And when she asked for money, they actually planned, even his siblings agreed to pay him, which is okay. But the part where I have a problem is with that the last two sentences that the guy made, where he said, this is what she is supposed to do. Is this not what she's supposed to do? Like, why am I even paying her what she is supposed to do? That's where I have an issue with it. And because it's something that we have as a mindset that we have, like most times when something goes wrong with in-laws or siblings, when people come to your house and, you know, a family member comes out, you are supposed to be the one to take care of that person. Like, it's just like they're not assuming anything. Like, it's just you that they put all the demands on. And I know what I'm saying that will probably be different from if it was her husband. If it's her husband that is the one in the situation, I'm all for do all you can to take care of your husband. Yeah. I'm all for that. That one, it's not even a matter of paying or no paying. Will I do it or not do it? I'm all for take care of your husband. Like, that's like the agreement that you put one. That's it. No need. But now in this situation, it is mom, which is also all the very sentimental, like this thing for your husband. So to make your husband happy, you can at least offer help, be there for him, because it's also like be there for him, help, but not, like I said, I won't ask for money, because if I'm showing my support, if I'm showing my concern for you, I'm showing it. I'm not collecting money for it. I'm not collecting money, because like I feel like that money is recycling. You're just recycling money from the family, except, okay, anyways, the family shall agree to give her. But that one, that mindset of she is supposed to do it, I think we just always we forget the fact that taking care of someone who is ill is mentally and physically demanding. Let's not even say, like, I've been through it. I know, like, I have family members who have been in that situation, like my own personal family members. Would I ask my husband, will I bring them home and ask my husband to join me and be taking care of them? I don't think I would, because I don't think I would. It's demanding. It's demanding. Even if you are taking care of your own mom, it's actually demanding as well. Whether it's not because it's his mom or because it's your own mom that removes, it doesn't remove the kind of work you put into it, the kind of stress you put into it, you know. But so I would say that we should not have this mindset that because, yes, you are the wife, it now becomes your responsibility. It's something that husband and wife should talk about. It's something that they should talk through and be like, okay, like, no, it's really something that you should talk about, because something, like, for example, let me tell you, when I was still like single, like before I even got married, before I had kids, if somebody as much as throw up beside me, I can't use your spoon, I can't use your cup, I can't use your anything.
Too.
Like I can't. If you throw up beside me, I'm running away. Like I can't take care of somebody that is sick. So whenever I'm ill, I don't expect anybody to take care of me. That's just me. That's not the way everybody is. That's how much I'm bad. Like recently, like there were a few times like when my husband and I were still dating, he was ill and I left him. Oh, yes, your kid. Oh yeah, it's your case, and he was like, you this girl. Not like I can't bring you water. I can't do. But
my brother is trying.
No, I'll be so. But of course, I've grown now. I've changed. Like I know.
He has tried. Yes,
I've changed. No, like that's why it's my Mr. Right. No, that's why it's my Mr. Right. You know, but as that's the kind of person that I was. So somebody should now imagine me in that state now, where I've gone past that already. You know, I've taken care of like children, like my child has poop on my body on the road like this. I had to go with shit clothes. You know, so all those things now I've moved past them. But then for somebody, I'm just saying like this now, that for somebody to just assume that becomes your responsibility because you are a woman, because that's what the guy said, because you're a woman, I don't think it's okay. Because for some of us that we are easily irritable, we have to warm up towards it. It's going to be like an actual sacrifice. It's going to be an act of love. Do you get? So you should lovingly present that case, not like presenting it as a responsibility. Like I went out, I come back, you should have done this thing. Like no, don't put it on her as if no, you must do it. Hey, if it's your mother, uncle, won't you do it? Do you know what I would do if it's my mother? You don't even know what I would do if it is my mother. But because for me, I think personally, I would go out a lot more for my in-laws than I would for my own family members.
Yeah, me too.
Do you understand? I would go out a lot more for my in-laws because these are, it's just like, I don't know, it's just normal for you. But your own family member, like you people already know each other, you can still finish. I've already entered the case, you know. You can say, I beg, leave me alone, Joe. I beg, hello, shaking in front. You can do that. But when it comes to your in-laws, you want to, because of the love you have for your husband, because you want to show him that you care, you support him, all of that. Yeah. So for me, but I don't want somebody to like just pour it on me and say, it is your responsibility because you are my wife. I don't want that. I would appreciate it if you lovingly tell me, like, let it be something that would discuss, let it be something that I would know that yes, I'm doing it as an act of love, and you see it that way. Not for me to be because it's mentally, it's physically demanding. So what you would say, I mean, there's this movie that everybody's talking about, this movie From Scratch. The lady had to take care of her husband, dying husband, and it was demanding. And there were times that
we're supposed to talk about that movie.
Exactly, we're saying it, and it was demanding for her. You look at all the support she had, not just her that was taking care. There were times that she would go and take a break, her sister would take over. So it is demanding. So for somebody to assume that 24/7 you should do it because you have the time, and now saying you're supposed to do it, I really don't like that. Will I get paid? Will I demand from my husband to pay me? No, I wouldn't. If that's how she's wired, well, that's her. But me, I won't ask for money. But I wouldn't still, honestly, knowing the kind of person that I am, I would appreciate it. I would really love for it to be like something that, because that's the only thing that will keep me going when I'm tired. The fact that I know that my husband appreciates what I'm doing. My husband sees me. He knows that it's not really easy for me, and he understands when he can support, he supports. Not the one that you left your mother in a critically clinical situation. It's not as if you are rushed. It's not as if time is this thing. It's something that you could have at least said, oh, let's do this thing. Oh, let's quickly clean up mama before I go. Then that kind of a thing. Not the one that you pour it on me. I'm sure that's why the woman really asked for money. I'm sure, because that's probably why she said, okay, give me money for this thing that I want to do, so that she'll know that this is what she's gaining from it. Maybe he's not supportive in that way as to understand that I'm doing this for you. She's like, what I'll kuku do, let me kuku do it and kuku close eye and collect money. But I don't think I would do that. But I would appreciate it if people don't that mindset of just carry on that responsibility. Don't do it, because even for some people's family members, they don't carry on that responsibility. They look for people, they pay somebody outside to come and do it for them. So that's one thing that me I don't want.
So my problem, first of all, is the fact that I'm your wife. She's your mother. Right? You have a sister that can take care of her. Okay? But let's not even go there, because I imagine myself, if God forbid my mother-in-law is ever in that situation, would I do that for her? It's complicated.
It's quite tricky, right?
It's complicated because I love my mother-in-law so much that I would not mind doing it for her. I wouldn't mind it. But the problem I have with this is, just like what you said, in short, everything you said is what I want to say. I just don't want to detour what you said. Because you cannot make it a responsibility for me. It's impossible. Especially when you have siblings that can do the same thing. If I am volunteering to do it, right, it cannot be because it's my job, because I'm a woman, or because I am a nurse. Because his argument is maybe the sister is not a nurse. He believes that, you know, she will be able to do more for the mother than the sister might be able to do. But the truth is that whether she's a nurse or she's not a nurse, but if you don't have any nurse in the family, okay, you will still find someone to take care of your mom.
Good point.
Right? You don't need to be a mom. You don't need to be a nurse to be able to, you know, clean up after your mother or do certain things for your mom. Okay, so I don't even think being a nurse is a reason why she said because you are the nurse in the family, you should be the one to take care of, you know, our mother, because this is not just your mother, this is you and your siblings' mother. You understand that? And then again, you have to look at it in the reverse. If the situation were reversed, would you do the same thing? Right? Even though, see, and that's the thing about marriage, when you marry, especially in Africa, you marry a man, you marry his entire family. Okay, so again, my own issue is, I don't think mandating your wife to take up that responsibility is ideal. Because if your wife was not a nurse, what would you do? What would you do? If your wife was not a nurse, what are you going to do? Will you hire a nurse to take care of your mom? Right? Because you mentioned it, I also have a family member who was in that particular situation. And he was even married, and most of those jobs were on the wife and everything. But the wife still has to be a mother to the children. She still has to go to work. Because now the man is incapacitated, he cannot do certain things, he cannot work, he cannot bring in money. She has to go to work, she has to work to take care of her children. You understand that? So even for a wife, I can see how demanding that is. Not to talk of, because personally I would say, okay, how do we share this? How do I take care of your mom? And collecting money to take care of you, that's just ridiculous. And I never, you know, when I read it, I felt like this man is just, she's very, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't even offer. Don't even offer to do it. But then you raise the perspective that, you know, maybe the woman is just trying to make a point. Maybe the husband does not appreciate her, and that's why she does that. Maybe. But even if that is the case, if you want to do it, do it. If you know you cannot do it, don't do it. If it was your mother, will you ask for money? Would you ask for money to take care of her? Because that's the one thing we always say. When you get married, we always say, take your mother-in-law as your mother. When we say take her as your mother, it's not only when things are good, when things are tough. When she's in a situation like this, you have to treat her the way you would treat your mom. If it was your mom in that situation, what are you going to do? Right? And I'm not just talking about the woman alone, because this is where people will get argument. We always expect women to do this. Even you as the man, what you cannot do for your mom, or what you can do for your mom, is the same thing you should be able to do or cannot do for your mother-in-law. Right? So I think asking for money is entirely wrong. But again, I don't even see, I think this is where resentment starts to build in marriage. When you start to have certain expectations that we did not discuss before we got married. Because this kind of situation, you don't even have, how do you even imagine it? That if my mother-in-law, if my mother, you be the one to, it's not something you discussed. It's not something I expected getting into marriage. So you cannot put that on me and say, it is your job, you have to take care of her because that is what you do for a living. That is not what I signed up for when I decided to get married to you. So for me, would I, you know, just like you asked, would I bring my mother and say my husband should be taking you? Absolutely not. Instead, I would hire somebody. Because that's, you cannot be making assumptions, especially when it comes to family issues. This is where resentment starts to build between in-laws and siblings, because now your sister-in-laws are thinking that your wife is unreasonable because you put a demand on your wife, and that is unfair.
That you did not put on your sisters.
You didn't put on your sisters, you didn't put on your family
sisters
members.
and saying 6 to 9 they are working. Why can't they cut it to 6 to 4? And one of them come, why can't they rotate it? You know? Why
can't they take off time to take care of their mother? But you expect your wife to do a sacrifice that your own sisters will not be able to do. So that's the thing. I have no my English has finished. I have no problem. I have no problem with her wanting to take care of her. I mean, if she volunteered to say that, you know what, babe, I am a nurse, I can take care of mama, I can do this and that. let us hire somebody to take care of her between this time and this time. You guys pay that person. But when I'm back from work, or when I'm leave, or when I'm off work, I will take up the shift at this particular time or stuff. Let her offer. Do not. It's just like I got married now, and my younger brother needs to go to school, and I expect my husband to be the one to send him to school. Yes, what? We are one. Yes. And you see that happening in marriages. Yes, right, we are one. Right.
Is it those
yes, we have become a family. Yeah. Yes, we have become a family. But because we have become a family, doesn't mean that all your family burdens will now come on top of me. No. Especially when there are other people that can. I can understand if you are the only son, right? And you know, you need to take care of your mom. That's where you and your wife need to sit and say, how can we? It should be a conversation between you, not an instruction. Exactly. It should be, babe, this is what is going on. Mom or mama, whatever he calls her, needs help. How do we do this? Good. I know you're a nurse. I would like for you to do this, but I understand that this can be demanding. How can we do this? Can you take up this shift? Can I take up this shift? Can we hire someone to take up this shift? How can we do it? I will. You cannot come and give her instruction and say, this is what you're supposed to, because you are a nurse, this is what you do for a living. Yes. And you know, there's a lot of guilty words he kept using for someone you call.
Yes, you see now. Just as point things on her.
It's wrong. It is all shades of wrong. You don't give instructions, especially when because what I'm even seeing here is you are now causing an issue that is not supposed to be there. It's something you should have discussed with your siblings. How do we take care of our mom? Okay, I don't mind her coming to stay with me, but we need to look for someone to care for her. We need to hire somebody in the house. It's not a matter of, and this is what people do when they have family issues, because you're trying to portray your family as something. You say, oh, don't worry, my husband can do this. Oh, my wife can do this. Oh, my wife is a nurse. She will take care of her. Don't do that. It's wrong. And it will only bring hatred between family members, because God forbid anything happened to that woman when you left her that way. Do you know the amount of things that could have cost? So I'm never going to speak to you, first of all, seeing your mother in that state, and you not being able to drop your bag and take care of her. I'm not even going to talk about that part, because you left, came back, met your own mother in that way, and you are still expecting come on. And number two, I don't think the woman was right either. No. Because your husband left, you found your mother-in-law in that state, and you could do something about it, and you left it. That is wrong.
Because she has
no
not
matter
been paid.
The message, that's ridiculous.
I need a lot.
That's ridiculous. No matter the anger you might have towards your husband, you never ever do such a thing. No. Right? You never ever do such a thing. It's not like you were absent or something. No.
You were there.
Absolutely. So neither of them was right in that situation.
No, none of them was right.
But demanding for money to take care of your family, no. I wouldn't do that. Yeah. Right? But I also think that the man was all shades of wrong for assuming that because this is my wife's job, she will or she's supposed to. No, do it. It's not. That's not how marriage works. You have to have conversations. You have to look for compromises. Okay, this I can take care of her at this time. Can you take care of her at this time? Can we hire someone to take care of her at this time, and stuff like that, so that there will not be issues. But don't ever make assumptions. So if I bring on my family and my younger siblings and say, because you are my husband, you should take care of them and send them to school, would you do that?
I really, really love this point that you're talking about, because it's always good for when we flip side, you know, anything that concerns nurturing, they just automatically assume that the woman should take care of it. And anything that has to do with money, they just automatically assume that the man should take care of it, and which is not so. You don't know, like, no, you don't know. A guy that's coming from a home where he didn't have so much financial responsibility, marrying a woman who has financial responsibility, you just assume automatically he should start doing all of those things. He's not prepared for all those things. He's not used to all those things. And if you want him to do it, he should see you in a way that you're doing it and like, oh, my wife is trying, let me support her. Do you understand? That's how, and I think it boils down to emotional intelligence in marriage. You know, especially when people are not emotionally intelligent and they get married, you don't know how to present a case. You know, there's a way that the man will even present that case, that the woman as the nurse will be obligated, like she will see people she will see the siblings taking care of the mom and be like, but she call you like this now to do it, and you know, she will start to do it and tell them that, oh, this is the way to, because she's obviously trained for it. But when you present case as if you are talking to, like, even a fool doesn't want to be called a fool. So even when you want to present something and you come and present it as if you know, like you don't know. There's a place for wisdom. There's a place for understanding emotions. There's a place for understanding how feelings are involved. I also love what you said about that's how resentment starts. That's how you build resentment.
Yeah.
You know, when they say women fight, mother-in-law and wife are fighting and all of those things, most times is the
party.
Yeah, the actions and inactions of the partner that has a huge factor to play in that situation. If you can't hold ground, there's no way. Like, women are very territorial, and you as the man in between, you are the middle ground. You should have that emotional intelligence. You should have that wisdom to know how to manage situations. You go to your sisters and can't be bragging about the wife. My wife is enough, she can do it. Why? Protect your wife as much as you protect your sisters. Like, think of your wife first. How would she feel doing this? Is she something, even though,
have a conversation, like, don't assume.
Because I do something for work doesn't mean I want to come back home and do it. Because I do something for work doesn't mean I want to come back home and do it. Like, I remember there was a time that I wanted to, like, work in, like, when I was relocating to the UK, I wanted to work in special needs, special children education, to teach special kids, because, you know, I was obviously teaching in China. I wanted to come here and just, like, specialize in special needs, because that's something that I loved. Educational psychology, I just loved it before. So I wanted to even, like, specialize in special needs children. But then I was going through it, I was reading up on it, I was watching videos on it, and people that do the job, they say it is emotionally draining. And I'm thinking about it, okay, I also have kids that sometimes it is overwhelming for me. Do I want to go to work and deal with kids and then come back home and deal with kids in that dimension? You know, those were tough questions that I needed to ask myself, as much as I love to do it. You know, there are times that something you even love to do becomes, over time, they say it now that so that your passion, when people want to turn their passion to business, they will say eventually you hate the passion that you were once passionate about. It's the same thing. You don't just assume that because she does it to earn a living means she wants to come home and do it. Maybe home is a safe place. Maybe home is a safe haven. Maybe home is for her is where she'll come and be like, and then so when you are bringing that to her, present it well. Present it well. Those are the mistakes. Just the same way we are talking about it on the flip side too. If you want your husband to take care of a need, financial burden with you, you present it well. You don't just assume that those are the things, those are the issues, expectations, and these expectations are a lot more on women, and they're still the ones that are responsible for making the home, that still they're responsible for keeping the home together, and you put so much pressure on them, and then they get tired and be like, I married a bad wife. No, you didn't. You just lack emotional intelligence. You just did not know how to manage situation. That's just it.
Exactly.
That's just it. Yeah. So all this, is she right to have demanded for money, or is she wrong to have demanded for money? It is the way you handled it from the onset. It is probably the way they have a relationship, because even if, no matter what, my own first instinct will not be to ask for money from my husband. It's probably the relationship they've had in that house, in that union, that I would just be like, and the wife will be like, bring money. And she's even saying that she must see a lot. She probably knows the kind of person she's dealing with, that if she doesn't pull her ground down, like, you know. So you can't just come and be talking about, you know, is it right or wrong? No. Like you said, sit down, communicate about it, and then we find a way to move on from it. Because, like you said, these are not issues that we anticipate before going to marriage, you know. As it comes, we communicate, we deal with it, we enjoy life. More issues will come, we communicate, we deal with it. Because let's not I just hope that men and women in marriage will continue to see each other as one. Just continue to see each other. Like one of the biggest marriage advice that I got is to always put up a united front as you and your husband to whichever side of the family, whether to his own side of the family or to your side of the family. Both of you should always put up a united front, and that thing annoys me a lot. It annoys me a lot when you both whichever side of the family, both of you should have a united front. And I don't care which side of the family. So if you see you people as, you don't just assume, go now. Talk to her about it. Just the way you don't want her to just assume, now for you as well. You know?
Exactly.
So that's just, so it's not a matter of is she right or wrong. To demand money, I wouldn't do it. But I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong. But I know that I would not do it personally, to be asking for money, no. But in this situation, the question from that man should not be, is she right to demand for money or not? It should be, how do you present the matter? Assumptions, expectations, all those things. We need to do better. We need to do better.
I think so too. I think we have said most of what we have.
Yeah.
So let us know what you guys think. Would you be able to do that? Right? Is it the approach that is a problem for you, or is it even the act itself, like doing it?
Yeah.
Is that the issue for you? Because personally, for me, I mean, if my mother was in that situation, I wouldn't think twice, right? I might not. This is just the fact. I might. If it's my mother, I will hire somebody, okay, and then I will assist the person. Because one thing you need to know is that people literally, this is a job for some people. This is what they do for a living, right? So I will hire someone to give her the best possible care, because I will not be able to do that for her. Even if I am a nurse, I cannot give myself so much at work, then come back and give her the best that she deserves. So I would rather hire someone and assist where I can, okay, right? So I can continue to be her daughter and hire someone to be her caregiver, right? And we will both understand our roles, and I will assist where I can. That's what I would do if it was my mother, okay?
It's quite a sensitive topic. I really want to know what people are saying.
So, and if it was my mother-in-law, I would do the same. I wouldn't mind bringing her into my house, getting somebody, hiring and paying her with my own money, and assisting where I can, right? But never make assumptions, because it never ends well. It really never ends well, right? So yes, let us know what you guys think. If it was you, I've said what I would do if it was me, but if it was you, what would you do, right? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening, wherever you are listening or watching from. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Like this video or this podcast. Share it with everyone around you. And yes, until we meet again, we are still your favorite host, Victoria and
Yummy.
Yay! We'll see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing week.
Bye.
Bye.